but we're also simultaneously being told that UFOs are something that are real and they're concerning. They're potentially a threat to national security. We don't know what they are. And it's okay to talk about that now. That is a curious thing to me, Joe.
It is curious. And I appreciate your perspective, because
it's literally, dude, I'm telling you, like, it's just to fucking beef up defense contracts for Space Force and experiment with new tech and new weapons and shit like that.
I think it's good to look at this from a bunch of different angles, because it's real tempting to say, well, I'm finally at a point in history. It's amazing. I'm here where the government is admitting that there are alien crafts that are off-world vehicles, not from this earth. You know, that was like one of the quotes. That we're admitting that we're being visited. But are we? Because why would the fucking government finally start telling us without motivation, without some sort of end game, without what's in it for them to tell us about these things, unless they're so frequent and so bizarre, and so many military people are talking about them, that they feel like their back is against the wall.
What?
And they have to say something about it because...
No, dude. Like, no, they could just vilify it every day. They could just, like, be like, you're a fucking psychotic conspiracy theorist. Fuck you. Dishonorable discharge. Literally every time a fucking soldier or a military member says some shit like that, they would just be like, no, you have... It's not because it's so commonplace that they're leaking it. They're leaking declassified shit of people who are most likely seeing things, okay? They're leaking declassified things because it's a good justification for Space Force. That's it.
Otherwise, they're going to lose credibility. That there's so many of these things. And there's so many, like the Go Fast video, the FLIR video. There's so many of these encounters that the...
Yeah. The American military is worried about losing credibility.
These very reputable people like Commander David Fravor have had with these crafts that behave in a way that is impossible, as far as we know, with any known technology on Earth in 2021. And this is the David Fravor one is from 2004.
What's disturbing about it is no matter what it is, I don't think we're going to find out the truth. And I think it's going to be exploited for certain means that we're not going to know. It's not going to be overt, but there is definitely something.
Are these two people? Dude, come on. I don't think Abby Martin believes the aliens are fucking on Earth in the way that we understand it. I really don't. I can't comprehend if this is two adults that are like unironically having an argument about. I mean, unironically having a conversation like these are like actual fucking UFOs that are flying around, and the American government was like hiding it, but they're no longer hiding it. No, right?
Something going on because it doesn't make sense. And if it's, oh, there's so many people seen it, shit, this has been going on for 70 years. I mean,
yeah,
that movie, I mean, there's people like every day. One thing that I find really interesting though is now everyone has cell phones that film in 4K, Google Earth satellites all over the world that can zoom in on someone walking down the street. So if these things are flying over the ocean, like someone, part of the David Fravor special on 60 Minutes was saying, I saw this shit like this every day. Yeah. That was a literal quote from him. Why are we only seeing these grainy satellite images of these UFOs?
Well, Christopher Mellon, who used to work for the State Department, told me that they have way more shit, way more footage. They're just not releasing it.
But why? Why roll out this one and where it's this grainy filming of a satellite?
They're not rolling it out. It's soldiers, it's sailors, it's fighter pilots, it's people are releasing these videos and photographs. They're leaking them because
how come they're not getting in trouble for like leaking them? You know, like we had, like this is a whistleblower leaking these.
Because I think it's a different kind of a leak. It's not like they're leaking something the United States is doing, right? They're not like you remember that kid that got arrested for taking a photograph inside of a submarine? Mm-hmm. Remember that? Mm-hmm. That's a different kind of leak, right? You're leaking out U.S. military secrets. This is not a U.S. military secret. This is a strange, unidentified, what they call a UAP now, because UFOs got a bad rap.
Right.
It's like red pill. Got taken over by assholes. So now they're... a lot of these people that have seen these things are frustrated at the lack of transparency. I mean, this is the narrative, right? I don't know if this is true, but my friend Jeremy Corbell, who's been the guy who's released most of these videos, like those pyramid-shaped crafts that they were watching with night vision that were in the middle of the fucking ocean.
I just want to point out that we are currently watching a guy who thinks the moon landing was staged. Until very recently. I believe his mentality has changed on it. But, yeah.
Floating around over this destroyer or this aircraft carrier. They don't know what the fuck those things are. These are videos from people that are there. The one that was a transmedium vehicle that was flying over the ocean and then went into the ocean. They don't know what the fuck that is. They filmed that thing with night vision. They don't know what it is, and this was soldiers that were filming it, enlisted people who were filming it, and you could hear them saying like, "What?
Oh
the fuck
yeah,
is
no,
doing?
they're
splashing
definitely...
down. It's in the water now." And then they're like, "Fuck!"
And the water, the whole like
it's wild.
Yeah, the water to air stuff doesn't make sense either without compromising the function of like one or the other. That it's very fascinating. But what I guess my point is, if they're seeing this shit every day, you think that they would try to film it like, not on satellite.
This is what the point. They don't have the ability to film it on satellite. They only have access to their cell phones. They have access. If you're going to leak it,
film it on their cell phone.
But they are filming some of these things, like that one that went into the ocean. That's the best they can do with filming something off of night vision. The ones that were floating around above that UFO or above the aircraft carriers shaped like pyramids. About the Go Fast video. I mean, they're using the cameras that are on these fighter jets that are designed to track enemy craft, and that's what they're designed for. They're locking in on this thing.
I feel like there's two different kinds of people in this world. Okay? There's the kind of person who, when faced with like something that they cannot understand, something that just like stands out, will say, okay, there must be a logical explanation for what this is, given what I know about, science, nature, physics, everything that I've learned thus far. And then there is the other kind of person who is definitely like having way more fun. Okay? Certainly. Who looks at something like this and goes, oh, dude, it's gotta be fucking aliens. Or, oh, dude, it's gotta be spirits. Or, oh, dude, it's gotta be the vaccine killing you from inside. Like, whatever this is, whatever your personal biases are, you have a very active imagination. And it is really remarkable seeing it. Like, when I see videos like this, I'm like, even if I can't personally explain it, there is most likely a logical explanation for this that does not revolve around aliens in the way that we have seen and understand and comprehend them from modern media and also media in general. And what I mean by this is, do I think that aliens exist? Of course. Infinite universes. Do I believe that there is a likelihood that there are aliens out there? Of course. Like whatever we would consider to be aliens. Are they humanoids? Or are they using conventional spacecrafts, despite the fact that they look like a Tic Tac? No, I don't. I think that if aliens had the capacity to come all the way out here from an area that we cannot even see, they would most likely not have such a humanistic anatomy. They would not have the same like physiological makeup. They would probably be invisible to the eye. It would probably be something that isn't even shapes or colors. It'd be a fucking feeling. Which is precisely why I always feel as though these sorts of alien conversations, and also, by the way, they'd wipe us out. You're delusional. So the thing is, I'm not delusional. Hey. Oh, okay. Have fun. I'm not delusional. There's a concept called the Fermi paradox. I believe that's the right one. Okay. Which, that's what a delusional person would say. I mean, guys, if they have the impressive technological feat to come to fucking Earth from distances that we have no way of reaching currently with our current level of technology, then an alien that would be able to come here would see us as an ant in the most positive scenario. You understand that, right? Because they would be so far evolved from what a human being is that they would literally look at us like we're fucking ants. You step on ants every day. You murder bugs every fucking day. You don't even care about it. You don't even take it into consideration. Yeah, it is the Fermi paradox. I mean, humans have discovered what they perceive to be new lands and enslaved and slaughtered other human beings. What makes you think a fucking thing that is so insanely technologically advanced from us would have the same kind of like anatomical makeup that a human has? It would be humanistic, humanoid, whatever, and would also regard us with care. You're projecting human barbarism onto advanced aliens? I mean, yeah. I am. Even if they were highly fucking evolved, why would they be monitoring the American like military activities on the waterboard? They would unintentionally kill us, is what I'm saying, by the way. I'm not saying that they would kill us because they would fucking want to murder us. I'm saying that because they're so fucking powerful that they would not understand that we're human beings. Like that we are living, breathing organisms. Like we would look like atoms to them. Or even a cancer cell. I just have a hard time believing that aliens that have been able to travel light years, that can biologically, or whatever the fuck they would be, withstand that process, would get caught by fucking, you know, human cognition. I'm sorry.
Thing with their tracking systems, this thing's moving at insane rates of speed and they're following it. This is the best that they have in that application. Now that doesn't mean that the government doesn't have some satellites that could zoom in on those coordinates and get that thing and get a very detailed high resolution video of that. They probably have that. If these things really are real, if they aren't bullshit, if this isn't just some sort of a mass psyop, if that's true, they probably have some really high-resolution shit that will curl your toes. And that's what Christopher Mellon says. But there's no reason for them to release that stuff for two reasons. One, why would they give away the actual capability of these satellites in like an undeniable way? Like if you could see like the fucking bolts on this UFO from, you know, however many miles in the sky these satellites are. And then everybody be like, Jesus Christ. Like, what else are they?
The people are saying they've evolved compassion. Like, you're making that up. I'm not even saying that they're barbers. They're going to engage in barbarism. Okay? I'm saying it's a lack of care. Like, a lack of comprehension. Not even understanding that we're, like, living, breathing human organisms with, like, feelings and shit. Okay? You are attributing compassion to them. Whereas I'm saying that they would be so fucking far beyond our understanding of evolution and also our understanding of like what our biological limitations, that I don't think we would fucking see them as like humanoid forms. I also don't think that we have been visited by aliens either.
They watching.
Right.
What else can they see? You know, they can watch you take a shit through your bathroom window. Like, what are they doing? You know, if they can see that, like they can read a license plate from space. That's what's been reported, that it is possible now through these satellites that you can get such a high resolution video that you can clearly see a license plate from space and read it clearly.
There's also something called claytronics, which is like a programmable matter, like microcomputers that can create a holographic cloud. That's actually a tangible hologram. I mean, there's so many things that seems like it's centuries off. This is what they're saying that they're working on, developing, where you can have a series of microcomputers program themselves into different visual entities into one giant hologram.
That was a Spider-Man movie.
Yes, no, I know.
You know?
Yeah.
The recent Spider-Man movie?
This is crazy shit, man. I mean, Chris Carter, the creator of X-Files, says that he had like a CIA guy like feeding him information for the show. I mean, I do think that art imitates reality in a lot of ways. And when it goes back to the 60-minute special, which was one of the only mainstream institutions that was taking this seriously, my whole thing is like there was no skepticism at all. There was no attempt to debunk these people, which seemed like a change in tone from these institutions. Like, so that like blows my mind. It's like usually you would have people have the debunker, have the guy saying that he saw UFOs. Right. But this one was just like glued in, being like, this is happening.
Well, the New York Times was the first to break it in 2017. That really shifted the perception. When you see the New York Times has an article talking about these unexplained vehicles and taking them seriously, and then interviews with like high-ranking military officials, people.
I love when the fake news Andy does a self-report. New York Times' consistent coverage on COVID, literally looking at like easily observable realities about this devastating virus. I sleep. New York Times does one fucking offshoot like COVID report. What up, Moo Moon? New York Times does one fucking report on like potential declassified documents. It's like, oh, New York Times, the fucking New York Times. It's like, dude, where was that energy when you were talking about COVID vaccines, you dumb fuck? Where was that? It's never there. That's the point. Oh. This notion that like there's gonna be a fuckable alien from a different galaxy that traveled over here to suck your cock in a way that like blows your mind, and it's similar to like a DMT trip, is a wonderful hallucination. Like, it's one that I fantasize about as well. I want to fuck Zoe Saldana in Avatar. Okay, I want to fuck what's her face, Cory Booker's girlfriend and in Mandalorian. Like that's hot. Like that's, you know what I mean? I want to grab her fucking little octopus shit on the top of her head. Yeah. Except, you know, the reality is, Lekku, you ignorant swine. Okay, dude. You will never be an anime person. You will never have an anime waifu. Everything you think is wrong. You will never have a Jedi girlfriend. You will never be able to master the Force. Grogu is not real. Anyway, no, that was I was doing a Moon, a very famous Moon meme for those of you who don't know, and also well warranted rant against weebs. You fucking aliens, Hasan, choose wisely. 9-foot tall booba, non-binary blussy. Hasan deciding which blue aliens to fuck. I mean, I would fuck both of them. Let's be real. They're hot. They're both hot. I just think that when I see stuff like this, my immediate inclination isn't to be like, oh, there must be aliens. It's like something that my fucking dumbass brain can't comprehend, but it's probably a reasonable explanation, like a flicker of light or some shit that makes significantly more sense than like a tic tac like an alien Tic Tac that came all the way out here from a faraway galaxy and then decided to dive into the water. Like, what? You might as well believe in Atlantis at that point. You know what I mean? Like, Atlantis is a significantly more believable point. 90% of the ocean is not mapped. We have no idea what's going on down there, okay? Maybe there's a fucking massive Atlantis down there. And that Tic Tac is actually, you know, that Tic Tac is actually down there. Cthulhu and the fucking orcas are building it.
People from the Pentagon, all that kind of shit. When you see that stuff start to make it into the mainstream, it just changes everything. The New York Times, for sure, changed everything.
I was featured in a Philip DeFranco show. Hell yeah.
The people that would never take UFOs seriously, they're seeing that in the New York Times and they're saying, like, holy shit, this is in the Times.
Yeah, these are the same people who discredited Dennis Kucinich at the 2007 presidential debate because they were like, you saw a UFO? Like, you fucking idiot. And that was one of the questions. And he was like, yeah, like I saw a UFO. And it's like, dude.
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, all of them saw UFOs too, you know, and it was such a discrediting fringe thing.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, it's not at all.
Okay. My favorite part about why aliens are 100% fake, okay, and I will say with my entire chest, is the fact that they somehow end up in fucking Iowa, okay? All of the aliens, instead of immediately going to where, like, the heat source is, like New York, are going to fucking Iowa, dude, okay? Even motherfuckers from Iowa don't want to be in